Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very welcome. Right, it's Tuesday. Tuesday's request day, and request days are quite often a mixed bag, aren't they? Because the thing with request days is I'll review any map that's requested. It will take a little while to get to the top. And it could easily be little Johnny who spent 15 minutes making a map and he wants his 5 minutes of fame on WhatsMap. And so, yeah, sometimes that happens. And sometimes you get something a bit special. Now, while I can't promise that this is going to be a dodgy my first map, I can offer you...
It's my first map.
That's right. And I'm going to tell you that it is very special today. Now, no hate for me, because I am obviously, with the better the map, the more hard I am on it. So go easy on me, but go easy on the creator as well. They've done well. And you too can do well by playing BonBonBingo. Link is in the description. Check off the memes as we go. First thing to check off though is of course the daily reminder. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Clyne County by Ginseng, and yes, you did see that right. 6 hours to make today's show. It was a lot of work and a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. There's your start square. That looks eminently playable. So playable that I actually forgot where it was whilst doing the review. So I apologise for that. Terrain heights, playable across the map. Loads of buildable space. And then we have got strong resources. Patches of fertile there as well. And if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, we've got a mix of fish as well. No tuna that I can see, but you don't have to have tuna in every single map, do you? Right, off to the workshop. What do you need? Well, no DLC required today, but there is a one-click collection and it's quite a hefty one. 74 items. So if you're running a potato, the best you're going to see today is what a map would look like on a system that can run it. There's your one-click collection. There is a theme mix based on the Coveted theme, which regulars will recognise as being pretty much the same theme that I used for Bonbon Island. So if you see similarities between this map and Bonbon Island, that will be the case. We've got intersection marking tool, we've got theme mixer 2, we've got procedural objects, we've got a whole bunch of assets as well. It's quite a busy thing. Also, Relight Bleak is the LUT we're using today, although that's not the one that loads in with theme mixer 2 for the theme mix, which is Chiaroscuro. I apologise for the pronunciation there, but the one that goes with the Coveted theme. It works really nicely. Oh, intersection marking tool there. Look at that. Little bit of stop-start traffic. Just a wiggly bit of stop-start traffic going on there. Now, we are running on a heavily modded map here. And we're going to come back to this a little bit later on. I've got a little talking point for this. Picky bonbon today for that. But yeah, picky. Okay? I'm not crying about any of this. I'm telling you right now, it's an outstanding map. There are one or two minor talking points, and that is it, really. So anyway, yes, the Chiaroscuro LUT, which works perfectly fine. It's a slightly darker LUT than Relight Bleak, but because Relight Bleak was listed on the workshop page, I've switched over to that one. Don't remember seeing it in the requirement list. Relight may have been in the requirement list, but I think most people, if you're asking somebody to subscribe to 74 things, including procedural objects and theme mixer and stuff, probably they've already got Relight. So I think we'll let that one through. I can't remember seeing it, but I didn't look for it either. So there we are. So anyway, it's a magnificent map. Aesthetically magnificent. Detailing, there's very little wrong with it. Very little wrong with it. It's one of those maps where if you're new to the show, I will let a map have one minor non-game changing thing wrong with it and still give it a 5th star for detailing. slight possible road alignment height issues there, possibly. And now we're going elevated and very slick. I mean, it's very minor. Now the thing is, how minor is minor before you dock the edge off of a 5th star? And there are 1 or 2 minor things which we will find. And I still would say, like here, right? See how we've got elevated at ground level, but we're not really elevated. It's just like upper ridge there, slightly. I think we can let that be. That's potentially normal. Also, if you hold the camera still long enough, the flickering goes. So I don't mind the flickering. It's actually the camera moving, not the texture moving, sort of. Okay. Oh, the rivers. Regulars will know that I love a good river. The rivers on today's map, they are reminiscent of the rivers on Bonbon Island. Only wider and stronger. Mine were very twiddly and fine and finagly. And there is one thing though with today's map, and that is waterfalls. And wait until you see it, the waterfall. My word, a curtain of water like it I have not seen in anyone's map ever. And I will be going back outside of hours and deconstructing the waterfall to see how the freaking hell Ginseng has managed it. I literally do not know. That's your treat for later. Now I thought this was the start, so this is why I'm hovering here. I thought this was the start square. There's so much on this map. So I did so much exploring and so much like wondering how this happened and trying to find 1 or 2 things to mark the map down on, which is why it took so long. I completely lost the start square. Oh, not that it matters, because like I say, when it's a playable start. It's as playable as what you just saw there. I think it's around here. It might be the next intersection along here, but it doesn't really matter. It all looks marvelous wherever you go. In fact, the thing is with this map, in terms of screenshots, I don't think there's a single place where you can't get a really good screenshot. This is the one. When I drop to the thumbnail at the end of the show, it's like, let's go and choose a random spot for the thumbnail, and it's a spot that we've not been on the review, because this review could be 2 hours long. I could easily make this 2 hours long on this map. I'm not. I'm keeping it down to 20 minutes. So there are areas of this map that we're not going to look at. I'm sorry, Ginseng, but you put too much in. That area on the left there, we're just flying past it like it doesn't exist. It's outstanding. We're flying past it. Little opening on the right. Oh, shall we have? No, we're going to fly past that as well. There's so much quality on this map. It is unbelievable. Now, aesthetically speaking, again, nice harbour area, industrial area maybe along here, because we've got the rail as well. Speaking of rail, let's drop across to the rail. Look, there you go. Just drop down there. Great aesthetics. No matter where you go, you've got some great aesthetics. Now, speaking of rail, hang on. Let's talk about minor detailing. If we come out over here, this bit of rail, look how the rail comes out on a steepness. I would like to have seen that just dragged out a number to about there maybe, and just to smooth that one out a little bit. But if that's the biggest grumble that I've got about the map, there it's not a huge grumble, is it? Now, aesthetically speaking, having made a map using a very similar theme mix, there was something that really stood out for me. Stood out for me quite dramatically, actually. Now, to you, and I don't mean that to put you down at all, to you probably look at it and go, there's nothing wrong with that, BonBon, what are you talking about? I'll do a little bit of terrain editing in the second half of the show, just to show you how I think, having spent, Ginseng says they've spent 700 hours on this map. I believe them. It's a lot of time, and for me to be critical about anything is harsh. It's very harsh. But having done a lot of work, about 100 hours on a similar map in some respects, Where's that rail come out? It's going to come out. I see it. I found it. Back over to here. It just stood out for me as being something that could be just a little bit better. Just a little bit. I'll show you that in the second half of the show when we get down there. Now the rail, we're going uphill slightly here. It's not too bad. Not too bad. And then it goes off the edge of the map up here. In fact, into a bit of a tunnel there. Let's have a look at the steepness here. It's not too bad. It is climbing, but it's not too bad. What I probably would have done personally is I would have linked the rail around more directly to the bridge and gone to a tunnel much earlier. Intermission time.
Are you impressed by the custom assets you've seen some YouTubers Let's Plays? Did you know some of them might be made by a mod within the game itself? Find out more with BonBonB's procedural object mod tutorial. Click the I button now.
And so back to Clyne County by Ginseng and the shipping routes. And they're very sick. Now remember, we are playing a heavily modded map. We can be expecting players to be using mods. So we are going to see a bridge in a minute, which is too low for vanilla shipping, which normally I would knock a bit of a star down on. But it is quite, there you go. It's quite a way up the channel there. And I would imagine on a map like this, there's no way you're playing this map and not knowing what you're doing with custom shipping. So I think we'll let that one through. Water flow, the rivers are wide, moderately strong, a little bit shallow, but this again is a map where I would imagine we're looking at somebody playing with mods to find alternative solutions. That would still work on the vanilla base game style, but you are going to drain the water quite heavily, but the water does flood away quite nicely too. Right, so where do we start? I mean, there's so much on this map. Now, we've got some magnificent waterways. We've also got this little rail yard over here. I'll show you that. I mean, it's okay. I'm not excited by it, but it does the job. Then I'm excited by the rivers. Okay, let's just say the rivers are what it's like. Just look at this. It's just like it's a poster. Picture postcard. It's beautiful. That's not the river I want to have a look at, though. Let's go and have a look at this one. Now, while on a top-down view, it's not the most aesthetic river route, when you get down to ground level, which is important, the only important area, that is where the river shines. Just look at this. Just look at this. This is quality through and through. And I did say something about waterfalls, didn't I? Well, here's the first one. And look at the curtain of water on this. Now, this isn't the one I'm super excited about. But I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, do you know what? I'm excited enough about that one on its own. If that's not the one I'm excited about, you know something special's coming, don't you? You know something special's coming. It's not just special, but it's a bit different as well. Because procedural objects have been used on the map. And they won't affect the water at all. They are just like a ghost mechanism, really. But we're about to see a custom dam. Custom dam, very heavily worked with procedural objects. Looks amazing. Not faulting it in any way, shape or form. Yeah, it's what can be done in game with that extra mod. We have got everybody's favourite factory. For those of you that are playing BonBonBingo and are wondering why you haven't been able to check off anything yet, it's a meme-free show. And then we have this outlet. It's just beautifully done. Look at that. It just looks amazing. Absolutely stunning. And the reservoir at the top as well. Absolutely stunning. All of this stunning. Right, okay, let's show you this waterfall. This curtain of water. I am absolutely at a loss for words with this one. We'll try and get a decent angle on this. I mean, there, look. It's like glass. Hang on, let's get the camera into a position that you can see it. It's like glass. I'm going to have to, for my own curiosity, I need to deconstruct this. I want to see how the freaking heck they've done that. I am jealous. Right, okay, let's move on to other parts. We've got a rugged coastline with this like lagoon area as well. Again, beautifully done. Can't grumble about that. And I did say we're going to come back here. Okay, remember BonBon's being picky today because we've got a high standard of map. We've got some great roads and great assets and great tunnels. If you have a look in here, look at that, fully rendered, beautiful, beautiful fully rendered tunnels with pillars going right the way through the middle. That's from that overpass there. Yeah, if that was the only thing on the map, that would pass by. It'd be fine, but it's not. There's not much else though. Okay, now have a look at the textures here. The textures may look amazing to you, but to me they look flat. And if I turn the lines of terrain on, you can see how we're relying entirely on the aesthetics of the texture to give the vibe of this mountain being all rugged and weathered. Again, I use exactly the same texture on BonBon Island. And here again, this again to me, to my eye, because I've done a lot of work with this looks flat. And so let's do some terrain work with just this little area here. I'm not going to spend hours on it. Let's go in and grab that, a bigger brush, lowish brush strength, and I'm just going to push down the terrain, right clicking and basically following just the shapes of these edges, just to give this a bit of a third dimension. And it's not a big change. It's not big, and you may not notice it at the end, but I tell you, I do. I absolutely do. And while Ginseng has spent 700 hours on the map already, I think this would have added just a little bit more. But you have to draw a line somewhere. But yes, there you go. That was just a very quick drawing over that area there, and for me, that looks a lot better, personally. So when I dock points for aesthetics, then that'll be why. Okay. There are loads of other areas we haven't had a look at, like we've got this power area as well. This looks really cool. And then shall we head down to what I thought was the start square? The start square in error for the asset of the day, which is a stunning set of industrial warehouses, the DDR industrial warehouses full of air, by BLK by MeisterMonis. I'll say that again. DDR industrial warehouses look by MeisterMonis. Full set of warehouses here, and those little elevated areas as well. And factoids, because factoids. This is a map by Ginseng. Factoid about ginseng. Although ginseng has been used in traditional medicine for centuries, modern clinical research is inconclusive about its medical effectiveness. There is no substantial evidence that ginseng is effective for treating any medical condition, and its use has not been approved by the US Food and Drug Administration as a prescription drug. Although ginseng is commonly sold as a dietary supplement, inconsistent manufacturing practices for supplements have led to analysis showing that ginseng products may be contaminated with toxic metals or unrelated filler compounds, and excessive use may have adverse effects. Also, it says on Wikipedia anyway. Anyway, a DDR Industrial Warehouse book by MeisterMonis. MeisterMonis has just given us even more stuff that we must subscribe to right away. Thank you. It's been a good show. Great asset pack, great map, great theme and LUT and everything. But the important question is, what do you think of it? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Click the I button now in the top right corner of your screen, or the link in the description will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple or a Patreon account. So, what do I think of today's map? Look, another great screenshot location here. What do I think? Aesthetically, it's stunning. It is absolutely, and I would have gone 5-star. In fact, if I hadn't have done BonBon Island, I would have done this as 5 stars. But I'm seeing those textures in the cliff faces, and I'm seeing it flat. It's kind of a trained eye thing, just because I've done so much work on the same thing myself. So I'm going to go as close to 5 stars as I can. 4 stars and a big bit. Detailing. 1 or 2 minor issues. That pillar, the rail on the slopes, the rail coming out of the tunnel, just 1 or 2 very minor stuff. Again, very high 4 stars, but not quite as high as the aesthetic. Gameplay. A bit of stop-start traffic, but again, I think that's going to be all sorted once you got Traffic Manager up and running on this one. And you will have Traffic Manager up and running on this one. 5 stars. Clyne County by Ginseng. Definitely a bonbon to be seal of approval. In fact, I'd be stunned if none of you... None of you? I'd be stunned if not all of you agree with me. Not one of you, maybe some of you, I don't know. You got my gist anyway. Anyway, that's it. Stunning map, well done. Don't report me. I'm doing my best. Thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. If you're still here, you're part of the 20 and out elites. Use the words of the day in the comments. Score yourself some population points just for fun. And I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What's Map series. And it probably won't be as good as this one.